still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man. Ah, man, me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
For something, Rod? Come to tell me to fuck off again? Oh man, that's great. Look at that guy go. Haven't seen anything that funny in a while. God damn. Thanks for that, but no, it's not mine. Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage. Not in, not out. I'll never betray the purity of my tribe.
So you're telling us that you don't know anything about drug smuggling through Terminal B?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to. It's a fucking travesty is what it is. Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of business. Just follow the smell.
Yes.
Looks like I offended your... His tribe are natural.
I wouldn't be so sure.
Guess so.
lorry's stuck in the traffic jam. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. The driver, a large metal pendant hangs from the rear.
Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
The back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep. A book with ragged edges.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
So, how'd you like our harbor? It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right, you talk to the boss eye to eye, like men of the plain. If you have any more questions, I'm set to talk. A key, huh? Oh, I got that key right here. And let me color what you're looking.
Okay, but
The janitor, none of this mess we're in. This jiving and juggling. I'm more of a...
Who? Ask him about the Hardy Boys.
Los Ar... They're sort of like you.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, bro. No, fascism, brota. Many things, but it's mostly about quit stalling, bruiser. Yes, worm. That's what fascism. You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, brota. For the nation, smart. This must be it. The basement, the Royal Lion, Guillaume's kitten. The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. In fact, you try to finally, only as you hope. A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark skin, a little ring, Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. It looks like the artist is celebrating diversity, but underneath, he's just making fun of these people. No one's telling. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, you're
There's the missing tin, and now...
an interest. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself. Attaboy, the world.
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing. It is. I know you are. What with?
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look. The woman. You see a heavy steel door. The door is closed. This door can only be opened. Still, now the lieutenant gives you a...
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? Yeah, the janitor who gave me the... Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment. You're right, Harry. Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is going to start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in...
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry. Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They lift my office with that big crane. It's actually very fun. You should try it. But enough about me and my fun container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them, all hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them. Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Exemplary union members, always working to advance their position in the local socialist democratic movement. Core members. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much...
Yes.
Oh, no. Believe me, Harry. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Of course, Harry. How do I... Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company... These guys turn up and start beating people.
So you believe...
You said it.
That does sound quite unlikely. Yes.
Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real.
The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote.
Good boy. A real team player. Now, do you have any more questions? Was it a good talk? I'm not sure we made I don't know what... Yes, Harry.
A man of the left. So you have to be a social democrat. He's been hurt too much in the past. By men who aren't.
Just between us, I don't care for those lefty dinks either. It's all about power, and here's...
Kingsman.
And what would it...
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal.
It depends.
But he...
As I said, it weighs on me. I'm glad you asked, Harry. There's a nameless little street on the coast.
Water drip. You're already pretty deep into this.
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction You bring joy. You need to get... Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca. What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this? Harry, you wound me, Harry, in the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject, shall we?
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens... By all means, Harry. What's on your mind? know that. One thing, we're all... It's perfectly okay. Even if you've told her everything we've talked about. Of course, I have no... Tell her about all of it.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other. Before the cargo container. It's dropped. Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Why are you what? Are you satisfied, detective?
The woman still has her eyes fixed on the photograph in her hands.
If you want her attention, you may need to be more forceful.
Where am I? Who are you? Never mind. I remember now. I'm still stuck in that traffic jam in the 50s. Back in Mecca, during the time of the revolution, the sidewalks and cafes are filled with young people. I was on my way to see a new Boyadero picture starring Gabriel Buenguerro. Until you came along, that is. I wasn't dreaming. I was there, Loman. It was early spring, and the man behind the Black Sun had just come out. The posters were 20 meters tall. Everything was golden. While you, people, were tearing each other apart over your petty little revolution, in Methk, it was a golden age.
The Republic of Mesk is a massive confederation on the Isola of Muindi, the world's largest state by territory. It's a petrostate, a constitutional monarchy, and, as of recently, an outcast due to its tilt to the far right.
Someone was. This is Gabriel Buenguerro.
A strikingly handsome man looks straight at you, his head crowned with a wide brim hat. His hair is dark as an oil slick, and his jaw the most perfectly chiseled thing you've ever seen.
He was the biggest star of his day. Girls used to faint in the aisles of cinema whenever he came on the screen. And schoolboys used to memorize all of his lines. They are someone's memories, boy. What difference does it make if it's me or not? They're beautiful. That is all that matters. Beautiful and true. and they will win. They're coming for this, you know? All of this. Why not, Harife? It's not like I have anything better to do in this hellhole.
There's something off about this woman. Tell her to show you the soles of her boots. Maybe she was at the hanging somehow.
Now what do you want with an old woman's boots, Sheriff? Please? I think you should let me get back to Gabriel Buenguerro. You are not Gabriel. Gabriel doesn't say please.
She's wearing stern.
Just before Gabriel, it was the coronation of Franco Negro. Now, there was a real man.
Moreover, the boots were size 37, tiny. There are too many discrepancies in all this. Another discrepancy, although not boot-related, is the coronation of His Innocence, Franco Negro.
I could have told you that from just looking at them. The size is 37.
The feet of a little girl, they fit well on the pedals. Diamonds? Of course not. But with whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides, I don't drive the lorry for the cargo, if you know what I mean.
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Then it's contraband, lawman. What? Do you want to take an old woman in? Be my guest. Lock me away like Bad Hand Hermenegildo.
Bad Hand, Hermenegildos's bad hand, strangled 300 people. What can I say? Some people just really like strangling.
She's just a distracted old woman. We should maybe let her get back to her things.
So he doesn't think she's the smuggler.
You hear that, lawman? I don't think your partner likes you spending too much time with me. Oh, don't worry about me. I'm one of the best camioners around. I drive routes no one else will. Lomonosov's Land, Udajnaya Zemlya, the Western Plain.
A terrible cold comes over her, rattling her teeth as she stares inward.
The Transcatolia Magistral, you for 1A. Adestradas du Mirador, all the good ones. The deep trenches, where the bluebirds fly. Irmao, I already am dust. What do I need drugs for, lawman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare. Yes, there is a protagonista and an adversario. I am on the side of the adversary. There's no coming back from that hole.
Those epithets are familiar somehow. The great adversary, the great unrest. I don't like the sound of any of that. Sounds like a horrible drug. The worst one of them all.
Then what were you getting at? You're man, lawman. What of it? Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month, I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Grad, on the U41A. What do you think they take from Saramiriza to Grad, lawman? No, lawman, diamonds. Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Where do you want me to go? Or,
I think we're done here, no?
Yes, go.
Look, the insane police officer is back.
The small man mimes, blowing his brains out. You see his rat face contorted in mock despair, his fingers touching his temple. There's laughter in the room. Try not to kill yourself this time.
Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy, and now she's making me play with you. Is that it?
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You gonna go and tell on us?
Yeah, I heard him. Now fuck do you think I'm doing here? You'd have your ass handed to you if it wasn't for the boss man's word. Let me state this very clearly, Capo. Hello, officer. I'm Titus Hardy, and these are my boys, Hardy boys. How may we assist you?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? On the contrary, officer. There are yet camionneurs you have not talked to. And don't look so surprised. In a time like this, it would be strange if Wild Pines didn't have eyes on the harbor.
They must have someone in an overlook position near the gates.
I suggest you go back and canvass for more suspects.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Yeah. Why?
Why must we stop to look?
Right to work! Right!
Hola, Wandering Man. How can I help you? The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. That's so. I haven't heard anything about that. But if that's... I ain't the murdering type.
Understood.
No problem. I wish the best to you and your... We're negotiating. Aye.
The man whispers a jaunty tune.
The unpromising race pupil returns. I am the hardy. Now leave me be.
He does not so much as glance at the object.
Stop, show.
Does he strike you as the kind of man who puts money?
Don't be vulgar. Mr. Also, to serve is above all. Ram offshoot. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This
Measurehead stoically looks to the distance in silence.
there those a receding genetic pool has the the other overproduction as proven by the mound and the mask. Occident the Areopag the latter
Nature was not capable of more.
tips the F are a museum. It would be cruel. Tip lesser the mesquite.
It seems unlikely that two humans...
You are right. You have misunderstood. Then there is the Simino Koiki Chimera. Are you sure you wish to know of the Simino Koiki Chimera? The Koiko, this way, but enough. It is cruel. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss. There is nothing funky. I cannot possibly imagine what...
I think
That will be the...
they're all.
Race is real.
I think
That will be the...
That is...
These cops are just jealous.
I am the hard. Now leave me be. I'm...
Welcome. He must...
I...
The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions.
That at
Babe, thanks. But I got the...
Welcome. He must...
I am
The drawings are precise and look true to their...
the side.
your ear.
Yes. Correct. There is nothing funky.
The Koikos of Grad. You.
Yes, pinkness. The Koiko. Revachol.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening. But that seems a little off.
The revolution came to the revolution. Enough of Tibet mediocrity. I cannot possibly imagine what else.
Hey. Psst. Psst. Yes, you. Word on the street is you're ready to start building communism again. You keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie. Oh yes, everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we... Very well. No object. Let not... Did someone... Anyone? There's no...
What's it to you? Big mess caused by Union Green.
The man has turned his...
What's it to you? No, don't think we've met before.
The man has turned his...
When a punt beats me.
When the man... There's something odd in the way... Fine. It was
On we came...
I have a question.
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market. The rules. Honest, we came.
I have a...
You think... What's it to you? Big man. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain in Jamrock. Worked at... Uh-huh. What's it? Big man. We're all workers, right? Worked at... Territorial. Uh-huh. It was a long time. We were promised work.
The physically impressive man.
Is this about the questions again? Because...
Old monument stand. As you look up, you notice something about the statue, even by the standards of the Philippian king. Well, his own maladministration. Stories, he called it the Sol Hour. But wait, you haven't even heard. You see, oh, not just any nose candy, cocaine. That's what this is slander. Beneath a group of the original. Most historian, some years, the statue is supposed to neither Philip III, the squanderer, however, with his bronze face.
I have really...
Yes.
René. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine... Oh...
Do not defile her memory.
She died. René
died.
Depart.
A quick grimace of pain passed.
She was... Heck.
You always confuse them.
He suddenly remembers.
Of course, officer. Memories are all... I'm so...
The only...
Suddenly, Aeons, the sandwich, in addition to the obvious slice of ham, a fat one, you notice a brim of a tomato.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. You must have other business. Let me think. Of course, officer.
You see a Samaran street vendor. The name, Sileng.
Happy shopping, officer.
From out on the...
You're very cool. Oh, you...
Don't be distracted by the flattery and funny man act. No need.
Oh, okay.
Are you trying?
Sorry, detective.
A rusting control. This panel usually closes the water lock. Turn it. You pull. Nothing happens. A spring brings. Wasn't there a sign? Wow, a very large red t-shirt with an... Oh yeah, the print depicts a muscled man. Smells like worn cotton.
Sniffing.
You're not imagining it.
Hell yeah. Most people don't think that too red.
That's dirt cheap.
But why? I sympathize, I do. Welcome to here.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. A 12 to 40.
I'm no property lawyer.
The youth, it's going to be... This is either... My money is on cool. Looks like a cubic pyrite. You take the legal documents out of the envelope. There is no loophole. The simple truth is, once the construction starts, it'll...
I should have seen it. Evrard probably has eyes on us, but we could try to get other people to sign this instead of those listed. Or you could forge their signatures yourself. By the time he finds out, we'll already be gone. However, we'll need access to the coast before we do anything. Evrard won't believe you got villager signatures if you can't even get to the village.
The youth center cuts. typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor and table lamps.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
The lieutenant, hatred, the woman.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is
On a first-name basis. Pig's not half as dumb as he looks.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? On the
They must have.
I suggest you go back and canvass until you come up with something at that intersection.
She's simply.
Oh? Of course, Detective. You can always drop by later. What would you like to know? Officer.
The Crown qualified pleasure craft operator.
Why wouldn't it be? This is Revachol. Good. What we do.
She nods.